Hi everyone, I am Miss Torres Giselle. Then I'm going to discuss about the Dialectical Traditional by Immanuel Kant, George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, and Karl Marx. In our second perspective, we move from the reasonable world of the Greeks and the God-centered world of the medieval Christian to the subjective moral philosophy developed by Immanuel Kant. George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel during the year of 1770 to 1831, and also Karl Marx during the 1818 to 1883. Kant not only achieved a radically different solution to the problem, but ushered in an era of critical philosophy and a new approach to the field of morality. An emphasis on subjective analysis, creativity, and human initiative distinguish the critical philosophers from their medieval and ancient predecessors. The Greek and Christian philosophers considered man's mean task to be discovering the structure and law that was already present in the world. The human mind was seen essentially as an instrument for copying the world in knowledge. This objective tendency was changed to a subjective one by the critical philosophers. Thus Kant spoke of the moral law as being within man. The philosophies of Kant, Hegel, and Marx reflect the brilliant accomplishments of man was using superb techniques and remarking his world. He was beginning to emphasize his own role in the formation of his knowledge and values. In Hegelman's confidence is his own ability to construct a completely adequate, systematic understanding of the world is at its highest. In the quest for the system that would rationally explain the absolute and the world, the nature of his history, and the role of the spirit, Hegel elaborated an intellectual structure that brought him not only serious followers but also dedicated opponents. Similar to Marx, he emphasized the relationship between man and the world and the necessity for man to work and relate himself to the world. The student should see in the writings of these men the beginnings of many of the attitudes that have become essential to modern culture. Next discussion is all about value of the dialectical tradition by Immanuel Kant, George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, and Karl Marx. It's the first perspective on key issues. To all three of these philosophers, the dignity and autonomy of the individual person was of paramount importance. First, let's discuss the Immanuel Kant value. Kant viewed the will of the human person as completely autonomous and the value of the person as supreme. In his famous ethical treatise, Critique of Practical Reason during the year of 1788, we are instructed to treat humanity always as an end in itself, and we are warned against using other persons merely as means to an end. In addition to such democratic themes and values as the dignity of human person and the inalienable position of freedom by human beings, Kant's morality also has a distinctively Christian component. The existence of God is postulated as necessary for the moral government of the world. Immortality is considered as the destiny of man, and happiness is presented as man's highest good. Next is the value of Hegel. Hegel was very much influenced by Kant's moral theory and the formation of his own philosophical theory. He unified his entire philosophy into a comprehensive, rational system of the universe. He saw all reality as the manifestation of an absolute spirit that is dynamic in history. Like Kant, he valued the individual and freedom but not to the same extent. For Hegel, the state is a value to which the individual is subordinated. The spiritual is a value in its various manifestation in art, literature, and philosophy. Next is the Karl Marx value, who echoed both Kant and Hegel in his theory of value. In his early writings, which have a distinct humanistic quality, he stressed the dignity of the human person and protested violently against using men as mere commodities whose labor can be both like any material object. He further stressed the value and dignity of the human person in his doctrine of alienation. Marx lamented the condition of the 19th century factory workers who was rarely able to participate spontaneously and creativity in the making of products. More specifically, he regretted the fact that man's labor was bought by the factory owner, and in a real sense, man was divorced from a meaningful relationship to the products produced in the factory. As Eric Fromm has pointed out, Marx saw relatedness of man to nature and to his fellow men as a supreme value.